All right, back again. So far, what I've been able to do is I've cracked the first beat of this scene, which was the bad guys loading everything into the van. I've sort of cracked the beat two, which was when the fight breaks out. That kind of starts with that kick, the bad guy kicking one of the cops, and that was where I sort of started the break beat. And then that got up to this point. Let's bring up that where bad guys discuss. Yeah, right here. That was we found out 33 and 32 and 33 measures 32 and 33. There's dialogue there of like get out of here kind of a thing. So we want to make sure that the music sort of accentuates that bit. Something's got to change, and we also have to allow dialogue in. So let's go ahead and I'm going to play back from the beginning of the second beat from the kick. Because right now, I'm doing this the next day, so I want to refresh my memory of where I'm at.
He's out of here. Go, now!
All right, I'm gonna call that my next beat. So I gotta crack that whole part from. We have our section with the dialogue, the line of dialogue. Go on, get out of here. Scrolling through. He stalks off. Shootouts continuing, but he's. I think I mentioned this previously that sort of thinking of this is McGowan. This is the heavy for the bad guys. He's kind of the Terminator here. Like he just casually walks off as like guns are going off around him. So like he's an indestructible force. He's been at the heels of the good guys this whole time. And it's like, okay, how are we gonna get him? Right? And he's away, but we've got these other guys to contend with. And then we get this bit. Oh man, gotta love a tiny miniature hockey net with a gun. Um, and then he dies there. Oh yeah, okay. And then we've got the other cop. I forget her name. She gets her hero moment here. There. Okay. So I got to crack this somehow. And one thing that I noticed, or I remembered rather, is after this scene, there is going to be a car chase, and I've gotten that ahead of time. And I remembered listening to this morning that I'm using this particular drum loop in the car chase that's about to happen. So I already know I cannot use this here in the measures 18 through 31. I'm going to leave it as is right now, just kind of as a placeholder, almost more like having a click track there. But just because it'll kind of help me think energy, think pace for this second beat where the fight scene breaks out. But I also know that I can't use it. I want to save this really high energy thing for when the car chase kicks off. So let's take a look at this dialogue. This is pretty short. It's two measures.
He's out of here. Go, now!
And if I wanted to make that 4 measures, I suppose I could at that. Let's try that with a click.
He's out of here. Go, now!
Okay. Knowing that these are bad guys, you know, low synths, low brass typically works pretty well. I mean, I've been sort of doing a lot of moving harmonies by minor thirds, major thirds, stuff like that, just so that I'm not doing any like tonal cadences or anything. So what I think I want to do is I want to play around with some stuff. I'm going to go with one of my synth pads. And man, I really wish I remembered where this one is. I might just have to load it up. There's a really great... So then maybe I had it under hits and rises. Yeah, okay, Passionate Horn Swells. This is a really great 80s analog synth, but it's also kind of has like that strings. Yeah, gotta love it, right? So as you can see, because I wrote this down yesterday, this is why I write everything down, because I'm a weirdo. I know that I landed on the downbeat on that E.
He's out of here.
Yeah. Bump. That's the cellos. So I want to figure out how to really bring in the danger of these two. The baddies. Let's try something out.
He's out of here. Go, now!
Okay, so that got it into... That's just 2 chords.
He's out of here. Go, now!
What I did there was I did an E minor to a G flat minor, A flat minor. What if I did a G minor instead? So E minor. That's a little too Indiana Jones almost for me. So let's see. It's that Indiana Jones thing again, isn't it? Now I'm just thinking Indiana Jones. Too tonal. It might just be that simple, going from an E minor to an E diminished, and then slam into something else at the end of that. So let's go ahead and record that and see how that plays.
He's out of here. Go, now!
Yeah, it's not too... It doesn't draw attention to itself, I don't think. It's just enough... It's adds a little tension. Let's take a listen one more time.
He's out of here. Go, now!
Okay. Yeah, you know what? If I wanted to, like, rationalize that, I'd be like, oh, after she says the thing, it moves. She says her line. We've got that descending half tone from the B to the B flat there. And then that's the danger after she says her thing. So I'm actually going to write out that chord because why not? So I did that for 2 measures. E diminished. I'm just going with that whole time. So this is now not a 2 measure section, but this is now a 4 measure section. So I'm just going to add my double bar line, so I've got a visual clue there.
He's out of here. Go, now!
Okay, and just for kicks, I'm going to add my chords in there because why not? Great, I got my E minor, E diminished, and then if I need to change that at all at any point, it's right there. Now we're coming out of, even though I know I'm not going to be using this break beat, I do still need. I'm assuming I'm going to be doing some sort of high energy percussion here for this fight scene.
Out of here. Go, now!
Still needs something driving it forward. So I don't want the percussion to just completely drop out, but it's definitely got to be under that. So I've got a track here specifically for kick samples. So I might see if I can do. I wonder if I have like a good sort of like a dum 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 dum. I'm kind of feeling like right here.
Out of here. Go, now!
And then like kind of a fill to get into this Terminator walk-off thing at measure 36. I'm gonna use my Godzilla hits to kind of get that. I think like yeah, feel that. Let's try that out.
Out of here. Go, now!
And I'll add a fill, maybe a loop there. Let's quantize these quick. We got.
Out of here. Go, now!
Make sure that's on the downbeat there. I want that on the downbeat of 34. Too early here. I got excited clearly because everything's going ahead of the beat. I'm a piano player. I speed things up.
Out of here. Go, now!
Oh yeah. Looks like everything got off by a 16th note here and went. It didn't go bump, bump, bump. It went bump, 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 something like that. Make sure this happens on the downbeat of 36. Don't move it up to a black key. I want it on a white key so that it actually plays. Cool. All right, now let's take a listen.
Out of here.
Let's turn up the click.
Out of here. Go, now!
Okay. Now, it's still, as you can hear how it's going right now, it's still louder than the dialogue, but after watching footage that I've already recorded, I realized that the soundtrack to the video that was given to me runs really hot when I record. So as you can see up here, I've turned the audio down for the sound effects and the dialogue like 8 dB so that it doesn't like completely blow out your ears. Hopefully I have fixed that in post on my other videos. Okay, so it's that's why I feel like once I bring up that level up, then it'll fit pretty well.
Out of here. Go, now!
And just for kicks, I've got a sub bass in one of my synthesizer things here. So I'm scrolling down, and great, I've got this sub pure. This is a really great like low sine wave. Right, so there's a real subby. So I'm gonna have this double that Godzilla hit.
Out of here. Go, now!
And let's go ahead and not quite sure where this MIDI sees. That's probably my MIDI keyboard.
Out of here. Go, now!
Wow, look at all that garbage that's getting blown in from this slider. Yeah, I've got a M Audio Keyrig 49 in front of me, and it's got one volume slider. This thing's old, but it's, you know, woo. But the one slider, sometimes it sends data that I don't want it to send. And I don't know if there's a way to turn it off. I'm not going to go through it. That's super loud, so I'm going to go ahead and draw in maybe like a more conservative level.
Stop here. Go, now!
We'll put it at 64, why not?
Stop here. Go, now!
And at that point, it's going to kick back in. All right. So at this point, we got our 1, 2, 3, there's our 4 measures. Now we're back into a fight. This is the Terminator thing, isn't it? Let's see what we got. Okay. At what point do we see McGowan? We get him at about halfway through measure 37 up here. Meaning, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick note in my sheet music that I want something big there. Possibly. Take another go. All right. Now, I know that there is a really fun metal, almost like an anvil sound in my Godzilla hits. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move these. I recorded Godzilla hits short releases. I'm going to move it down to my long releases. Meaning that I've got a nice big tail at the end of each hit. Gives it a much bigger more sense of space. Like it. So what I'm going to do now is in Godzilla hits. Yeah, here. Do a real Terminator. All right, it's not going to be that pronounced, but I'm thinking like a sort of treating this almost more like a snare drum. Something like that, right? It's dangerous. Is this the right tempo for it? I'd like it to keep going like at this pace, but how to make it menacing at this tempo, right? I've got to remind myself of which white key has that note. Okay, how to crack this. I'm gonna mute the audio because that's kind of getting in my way right here. And I'm just gonna see if I can get into the groove. Okay, so it's looking like I'm feeling. I don't like that one. I want more of a, because you hear that like, it's like two different sounds in one sample. I don't want those two sounds. I want one sound. I'll do that one. Okay, so I'm doing it like every 2 bars here. Let's go ahead and quantize that. And now I'm going to drag this drum pattern over to the downbeat here. Let's see how this looks like. Now I'm going to get a little fancy. Remember how I said he shows up halfway through measure 37? Let's move this over. Would that fit better if the kink, the like, happened right on his cut? Just for kicks, let's try this out. Where that hit lands. Let's adapt the grid to zoom so I don't have to worry about every bar. Okay, so this is kind of out of time, but I've adjusted it so that we hear that right on the reveal of McGowan. One more time. God, the look on his face cracks me up. I'm talking That look right there. Oh man, McGowan, what a guy. Cool. We're gonna go back. Let's check this out again. Or is it better after? Let's see what it looks like after we see him. So it's like we see him, and then we register him, and then we feel the danger. And clearly I thought that top of 38, something important happened here, because I gave it a marker. That's why I went through and did all those markers right at the beginning of this process, right? I don't remember what I thought was happening here, but he notices them but doesn't care. Okay, so one thing that I've also noticed kind of working through like this while explaining myself is this is way slower than I would normally work, but because I'm actually like talking out loud as I do everything, it's actually slowing me down. Normally this process would all just be happening boom, 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 but it is kind of interesting to slow it down like this. I'm just going to go ahead and drag that drum loop over to fill these two measures before my terminator bit. Okay. Again, I'm not going to use that break beat at all in this cue, but I have it there as a placeholder just to be like a reminder of, oh, I want something high energy and percussive here. Okay, I know what I want to do here. I hear this. I know I've got a good sample of a trombone slide. Trombone bend halftone. Yeah, this is from my East-West Symphonic Library. This is just real, real silly. It reminds me of Lost. What can I say? So I'm gonna, so if I hit a G here, right at the downbeat of 38, it starts on a G. I'm guessing it starts on a G and is bending down a half tone to the F sharp. So let's try playing that right on 38. Okay, and then just for kicks, I'm gonna add a tuba. That's my BBC one. I think I can get more out of my East-West. So what? I'm gonna try to get it so that the tuba plays G then F sharp about the same time the trombones do. The trombone sample here does. Ooh, that's cool. It's a little later than that. Let's take press J, turn off the grid. It's about there. Let's take a listen. Tuba's lasting just a little too long. Let's try that. You can also see I basically trained myself to hit Command S like after everything I do. So you'll see throughout this little file up here in the toolbar just turning blue like that, because I'm a maniac and I save all the time. And you know what? I'm gonna do some... Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use this brain ball, which is officially my favorite preset in Obvious because I just love how gnarly this is. And I'm gonna do it really low and use pitch bend really low. So if it was higher, it would sound like. But I'm gonna do it really low, like kind of like a. Let's try that. Check that pitch bend. Yeah, you can see it's in the middle. This is where I pull it down. I wonder if I can, maybe I'll move it over a little bit so it's like I'm pulling it down a little later. If I do it right at the beginning. Not quite. We'll do it about here. Yeah, you know, it's not exact, but I think you can kind of feel the impact there. Okay, it seems, you know, okay. Terminator bit is done probably about halfway through 45 here. So if I, you know, if I wanted to get fancy, I could probably turn 45 into a bar of 2/4, which, you know, why not? Let's do that. And then we'll go back to 4/4 after that. Let's see how this. Okay, made the change in my sheet music. Now I got to make the change in my Cubase file. So I hit 8, pencil tool, 45. I want to turn that into a 2/4 bar. Pencil tool, 46, 4/4 bar. Great. Now I got the same in both. Okay, I feel like some sort of general riser, or some sort of like, almost like the THX sound effect kind of going on, like. Alright, yeah, I sound like an idiot doing that, but you know what? Sometimes the best sounds are just going to come from you making them yourself and then figuring out how to program them later. So I think I have something like that. I got this risers pack here. I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to record this MIDI data quick. Great. So one thing about sort of one-shots like this in MIDI is that it's really difficult. You know, it lasts, it grows, and at a certain point, it's just going to stop. So what I always do is render it to audio. So just control right click in Cubase, render with current settings, and what I'm going to do is basically turn that riser that I just played into audio. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. And I now need to find where this ends. Okay, so it's this peak right here. Go ahead and kind of see, like, right there, that peak. That's where it ends. So what I want to do is turn off my grid, and I'm going to drag this over and sort of align that peak with the downbeat of 46. That's sort of the end of the Terminator thing. Let's see how that times out. We could probably have like a, remember there's going to be a fill there or something, and we'll do some sort of boom on 46 just to sort of like accentuate the arrival of that riser. I'm going to go ahead and throw... We'll do a double, kind of like we did before. One's going to do the sub. I'll do a C, why not? Gotta love it when it only gives you a bar of 2. Oh, that's because the grid is not on, so my locator is just before the 4-4 started, so it gave me 2-4. Gotta love it. Great, I'm gonna make sure grid is on again. Let's go ahead and give a nice Godzilla hit right on that downbeat as well. Okay, so now at the end of the riser, there's going to be a nice sub as well as a drum hit. Let's see yeah, cool. Dig it. And I know I want to fill there. And I also know I'm not going to use the break beat, but I am going to put in this folder, open my sample library. Hello. So glad everybody gets to see my folders that I have on here. You can see stuff from other shows I've worked on. Hashtag Date Me, which was a theatrical show I worked on. Played off Broadway. It was pretty awesome. Love those guys. You know, just throwing out some cred, right? Snap Crackle, that's what I want. Let's go ahead and we're going to throw in one of these fills. It's two princes. If you... if you want to call me baby. Alright, whatever. Yeah, I'll just... I'm not going to end up using it anyway, so who cares what it is. I'll throw this in here. Let's make it that. And I want to make sure that it ends there. Stretching it out so all these actually play at the tempo that I'm at and not at their original tempo. And let's take a listen to what that looks like. Gotta love dragging a 1-bar thing out to 2 bars in a slower tempo. Okay. Move that over. Let's try it again. Now, why is that? Oh, right, because I threw that into the that bass drum track, so it was being all filtered. Oh, way too slow. All right. Oh boy, I am messing this up over and over and over again. Okay, take a listen to that. I don't know. What am I doing here? All right, let's. I'm just gonna get rid of all this. It's a noble experiment. Okay. So I'm like, okay, up to now, I haven't done anything melodic. I'm not really doing much with, I'm not really doing much with any like chords or anything. All I'm doing right now is figuring out the pace, the hits, that sort of thing. And all the while sort of keeping track of where they live here in my finale document. This sort of gives me a game plan looking at a blank sheet of paper, and then, you know, maybe later on I can go in and have like, you know, my piano pad and sort of be like, okay, well, I got 4 measures to do this. what's some like interesting melody. I'm not focusing on melody at all, honestly. I'm keeping it as simple as I can, and only focusing on rhythm at this point, aren't I? There are, more emotional underscoring dialogue, things like that, where everything's about harmony and keeping things tense. There are hero moments where it's all about melody and the tune comes back in. And this is a fight scene. It's all energy. And there is our next bit, right? It's all fight, 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 and then there's the pause in the fight. Basically, once she gets the shot off. So, I mean, we're basically in danger from 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Oh, so I'm going to go ahead and mark that on my sheet music here. Just a double line. Gotta love just how empty this sheet music is down here, right? But again, it's I'm drawing the lines. I'll color it in later. You know what? Let's go ahead and this time I'm gonna play some drums. Why not? Let's go for my something like this. It's a little too song-like, but let's do. Make sure my click is on while I record, so I know I'm playing in time. Something like that. Quantize it to 16ths just to kind of cover those little fills that I was doing. Oh boy, that quantize really messed that up. I'll just leave it in quantize for now. I'm a piano player, I rush things. There, okay. And you know what? One of my other favorite things to do is got my toms here. All my percussion stuff too is coming from the East West Storm Drum 2 library. I'm gonna get fancy here. I'm gonna do a step input. So I'm not actually gonna play this live. I'm going to cheat because I am not a drummer. Let's remove this lane so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm gonna turn this off for a moment. And I'm not seeing step input, so I'm going to go, where is it? Step MIDI input, great. So I can get this little stairs icon for step input. Cursor's right at the beginning of this region, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it 16th. And I'm going to do sort of a bump, 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 bump. So I want to accentuate beat 1, accentuate the and of 2, accentuate beat 4, but it's going to be filled with 16th notes. So I got 1, E, and 2, E, and that's one of the ones I wanted louder, so I'm going to go ahead and make that louder. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and I'm on, nope, didn't want that. And now I'm back on 4. I want back at 1. At the end of 2. 4. So faster. 54 is the downbeat I need to accentuate. That's why I'm weird when I write everything down in finale. Right there. So let's take a listen to what that sounds like. Love it. Let's add that to Odaiko. I gotta clean up that Odaiko. That's killing me. All right. So what I was doing was bump 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 ticka ticka dun 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 ticka ticka dun 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 ticka ticka dun 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 ticka ticka dun 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 dun. So every beat 4, I'm doing sort of a 16th fill. Let's go ahead and re-record that because it's just going to take forever to quantize that. Might as well just re-record. So I'm doing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Actually, you know what? I kind of like. That's more of a 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thing that I really like the toms doing that. Bump, 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 bump. So I want my daikos to do that too. So I'm gonna adjust it here. Okay, let's take a listen to that. I'm going to quantize them just a little bit. Boom. Beautiful. Okay. And let's take a look at that against the picture. And just for kicks, the next major thing to happen is going to be this hero moment. Great. And then that kind of leads us into this moment with the chief, which we've sort of established this is like a really tense, is he going to get out of it? Is he not? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get this hero moment. I'm going to go back to that analog synth pad that I had. Down here, there's called the Passionate Horn Swells. Gotta love it. I'll probably replace this with a real orchestra later. Doing an E flat minor to C flat major, or if you will, E flat to B, whatever you want to do. And yeah, it's just a little more song-like. I can do something a little more tonal. I wouldn't actually finish that cadence because there's not enough time to. They're not safe yet, so you can't finish the cadence here. The tension's got to remain. So I'm gonna try that out. I'm gonna try recording that at this moment. So let's see and we'll see what it looks like to picture. Probably another 2/4 bar at 58 there, so I can hit a downbeat on the switch to the chief. I'm going to do that one more time. 2-4, 4-4. And I don't quite like how fast that took, so let's try that one more time. Okay, that's fun. And I want to make sure to get to that third chord just a little sooner than that. And then we're right on that. Cool. I think I'm off to a good start here.